Now let me tell you all something. When I first saw that picture of Jason Kelce in that American flag Speedo, I thought, what's in the Bud Light 4th of July backyard barbecue is going on here? And I laughed. I ain't gonly. I laughed like hell. Looked like a WWE wrestler just walked off a grill. But then I saw what Antonio Brown said. And boy, oh boy, that's when the internet turned into a Sunday service in a courtroom at the same damn time. This ain't just about a Speedo, folks. This is about perception. This is about how two men, both former NFL stars, both with big personalities, get treated entirely different by the media and the public. It's about who gets the benefit of the doubt and who gets buried in the headline. So, today ENC gonna break this all the way down. We talking Jason Kelce, Antonio Brown, mental health, media bias, double standards, and yes, that godforsaken American Speedo. Let's start with big old Jason Kelce. Now, this man is beloved in Philly like Rocky Balboa and Cheesesteak. He ain't your typical NFL star. He's an O-lineman who can chug beer faster than a frat boy on spring break, who wore a mama's costume to a Super Bowl parade and speaks with heart and humility. That man didn't just block for his quarterback. He blocked for his city. So when he shows up at a charity event, mind you, for the Eagles Autism Foundation, a cause close to his heart, and rocks a red, white, and blue Speedo at a bar event with no kids in sight, the internet treats it like it's a patriotic tradition. And what happens? The crowd cheers. The donations pour in. He's called fun-loving, a man of the people, and a Philly icon. Nobody calls it problematic. Nobody's questioning his sanity. But here's the thing. Intent matters. This wasn't some random striptease. It was Kelce leaning into his lovable image to raise money. And in that context, most folks saw it as goofy, not gross. But then, oh Lord, here come Ab. Now look, when Antonio Brown speaks, you don't always know what version you gonna get. Is it Ab the Hall of Fame receiver? Ab the TikTok savant? Ab the TikTok savant? Ab the man who threw his jersey in the stands and walked off the field in the middle of a game? He said, and I quote, Jason Kelce getting naked for RL. Kids, but I'm the crazy one. Already know the firestorm that line set off. It's one of the moments that's equal parts jaw-dropping and revealing. Antonio Brown wasn't just throwing shots. He was throwing a mirror up at society. He's basically saying, when I act wild, you'll say I need a straitjacket. But when Jason Kelce does it, you'll call it charity. You'll call it charity. And I ain't gonna lie, there's some truth to that. Antonio Brown has done some things that ain't got no defense. Okay, the hotel incidents, the legal troubles, the outbursts, that's all real. But not every outburst means you can't point out bias, because what Ab is really mad about is this. The media lens ain't the same for everybody. Let me ask y'all this. What if Ab had worn that Speedo at a charity event? Y'all think the media would be laughing and clapping? Or would it be, making a disturbing appearance at autism event, trending on TMZ with 12 think pieces before breakfast? Abby is seen as unstable, erratic, controversial, but they can do similar stunts and get two completely different reactions. And that, my friends, is the narrative trap. We got to be real. Race plays a role. Reputation plays a role. Mental health perception plays a role. Jason Kelce is a white, blue-collar, hard-nosed football guy with a good rep. Abby is a black wide receiver who's had more meltdowns than medals in the last 5 years. So when it brings up this point, even if he says it wild and offensive, he's touching on something that's bigger than him. Now we gotta ask ourselves, where's the line? Is there ever a good time for an NFL player to be in a Speedo at a charity event? Maybe. But should the cause matter? Should the context matter? Kelce was in a bar, raising money, surrounded by adults, cracking beers. That ain't the same as showing up to a school fundraiser in that getup. But still, it looked wild. And Abe knows how people get down on him for things that look wild, even if there's a reason behind them. So what this whole episode really teaches us is optics matter. You can be doing good, but if it looks off, folks gonna talk, and if people already don't like you, they gonna torch you for it. Kelce's action may have looked silly, but because his reputation is gold, it passed. Ab's comment, way over the line, but with a point underneath the fire. Let's talk mental health. Antonio Brown has been begging folks to see that he ain't just acting out for fun. He's cried out for help in every way but a billboard in Times Square. And the media, too busy making memes. Meanwhile, Jason Kelce has spoken about mental wellness in the NFL, about burnout, about the brotherhood of the locker room, and people listen. Why? Because he's seen as safe, as someone who's got it together. So what we see here is the cost of perception. We praise one guy for showing vulnerability and authenticity, and slam the other for daring to talk back. That's a problem. UNC says it like this. Either we support mental health, and look at context for everybody, or we pick and choose. And when we do that, we lose people like Ab to the margins. Now let me land this plane. This story ain't about a Speedo. It's about who gets to be free, and who gets labeled. Jason Kelce is a good dude, don't get me wrong, but the fact that people can even hear Antonio Brown's criticism without dismissing him as crazy says more about us than it does about either of them. Ab said it wild, but buried in that wildness was a truth. We got double standards and we apply EM every day. We love when certain people act out, but only if we already like EM. So next time y'all see a headline, ask yourself, if it was someone else, would we still be laughing? Or would we be calling the cops? Answer gonna always keep it 100. That's my job. Look here. Jason Kelce in a Speedo don't bother me. That man earned the right to let his belly breathe. But if we can let him slide, we can't act like Abby ain't making a point. Even if he said it like a linebacker hitting the quarterback in the knees. You feel me? I'll be kind, you'll be fair. And most of all, I'll stop wearing Speedos if you ain't in Olympic swimming or Mr. Olympia. That's an UNC public service announcement.